Welcome to Motivational Life Hacks with Van Leer.
Welcome back to Motivational Mondays. I am your host, Van Leer, and I provide you with a recipe for success. So, without further ado, let's cook. So, over the past few weeks, we've really been focusing on what does it look like to be successful, and specifically taking a look at some of the life hacks that are necessary to walk down that road of success. Well, ultimately, this culminated to this particular episode. And basically, I want to wrap it all together and give you that base foundation of what you need to go ahead and walk down that road of success. Today's topic is on the importance of a self-image for success. Let me repeat that. The importance of a positive self-image for success. Listen, I know in your battle of becoming successful, a lot of that is mental. I'll further be honest with you. I know a lot of you all are self-doubting, and ultimately you don't look at yourself the way you need to look at yourself to ultimately be successful. In other words, you're not looking at yourself in a positive light, and some of you don't even like yourself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, if ultimately you don't believe in yourself, then ultimately you're not going to be successful. You must have that positive mindset. And remember, we did a series on that in order to be successful. But this all is basically about how you look at yourself and having a positive self-image. So ultimately, when we talk about a positive self-image, what are we saying? What is your personal conception of yourself? As in, how do you look at yourself on a day-to-day basis? If you're optimistic, the likelihood of you becoming successful is that much greater. But when you have that negative mindset and you're looking at yourself in a negative way, guess what? You're setting yourself up for failure. Let me say that again. When you look at yourself with a negative mindset, you are setting yourself up for failure. So for today, I want to talk about what are some of the life hacks that you need to incorporate to make sure you maintain or you acquire a positive self-image. Also want to go into some of the things that I noticed that causes individuals to look at themselves in a negative way, basically a negative self-image. And then ultimately, what are some of those steps and those life hacks you need to do to create that positive self-image? Now, understand something. The way that you look at yourself is based on a few factors. Number one, your life experiences, what you have gone through, is going to affect how you look at yourself. Let's think about your parents for a second. Were your parents positive individuals? Were they optimistic? Did they always look at the sunny side of life? Well, then 9 times out of 10, if you had parents like that, then you are typically going to be that way. But if you had those parents that always looked on the bad side of life, they were more pessimistic. Maybe they even brought that negativity your way. Then guess what? A part of you as an adult, that's going to seep out. And that's going to stifle you on your road to success because you've had those ingredients of negativity to drop into your recipe. And again, we want to take that away because this is all about being positive on our road to success. Something else that influences us are our actions when it comes to a positive mindset and a positive self-image. If you're constantly behaving in a way and doing things that ultimately upset the apple cart, turn everything upside down, impede your forward progress, then yes, you're going to be discouraged. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard to always be optimistic. So I suggest that you become expressive, that when you're telling those loved ones around you about how you feel, those individuals can pick up on your mood relatively quickly and inform you of it. Because there are going to be a lot of times where you may become negative, and guess what? You don't even know that you're negative. You don't even know that you're looking at life in a way where you're kind of feeling despair. You're not feeling like that optimistic person that you know that you could be. So, what are some of those life hacks that we need to incorporate so that we can have that positive self image? Number one, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. And this is all based on your confidence. I told many of you all, outside of doing the motivation, I'm also a teacher. You want to know the one thing I cannot teach an individual? I cannot teach them to be confident. No matter how much I try, no matter how hard I wish for them to have this confidence, you got to come in with a certain sense of, you know what? I think I can do it. And then I can help you to do the rest. But when you come in and automatically you know that you're not going to be able to do this, trust and believe you already convinced your spirit that you're not going to be able to do it. So I suggest on a daily basis, you work on your confidence. This is going to help you on your road to success. Next, you need to have a sense of self-worth. Every person on this planet should have a sense of self-worth. Ultimately, that means that you respect yourself. You know there's certain things that you do that when people see you do it, they're in awe. And that is because everybody, in my opinion, has greatness, which means you should have a self-worth because there's greatness inside of you. And once individuals recognize you have that greatness inside of you, they respect you. They rely on you. They look at you for advice. But you got to have a certain sense of self-worth in order to lead. You also need to believe in your capabilities. Everybody is capable of being successful. That's right, you heard me. Everyone is capable of being successful. The question is, and again, we talked about this in other series, what are you going to do about it? What are those steps that you're going to take that's going to get you to the point of success that you're looking for? Something else that I encourage you all to incorporate as a life hack. You need to trust your judgment. God gave us a sense of, you know what? I know when things are going great, but I also know when things are going not so great. You need to have a certain sense of discernment so that you understand, as I'm walking down this road and it's not going smoothly, what do I need to do to alter this route? That is your judgment saying, you know what? Something's not quite right. This is not quite going the way that I thought that it should go. Trust that judgment and then reassess, recalibrate, and do what is necessary to continue down that road of success. As I said earlier, you need to be optimistic. As we've talked about before, life is not always going to be easy, which means the road to success is not going to be easy. Does that mean that you are always pessimistic and along the way you continue to think and bring that negativity into your spirit? Or are you going to look on the more positive part of life? Even in negative times, there are ways in which you can use that optimism to pull you out of that negativity. As you're traveling down this road, and let's say it does become negative, the worst thing you can do, and let me say this again, the worst thing you can do is give up. You must be resilient in your travels to success. You must be resilient. Yes, you're going to be tired. It is going to be hard. There are going to be dark days. But as I said to you all before, you cannot stop the sun from shining. But if you stay indoors and you let the shades down on the window, it's always going to be dark. It's always going to be dark. We got to get up out of that bed. We got to walk outside. We got to feel that sun shine down upon our spirit. And that's going to be your boost. That's going to be your turbo for your engine as you move towards that success. So continue to be resilient. We talked about you all being goal oriented. I love that. Being able to set goals and accomplish them is what life is about. You want those endorphins to flow through your spirit. You want that positivity and that light to shine around you where people can see it. Set goals, hold yourself accountable, and do what is necessary to reach that level of success. And when you reach that goal, guess what? We're not going to stop there. We're going to establish even higher goals that can get us to the point where those dreams and wishes that we looked at in the very beginning, guess what? We reached them, but we extended those dreams and wishes. You want money? Set that goal. You want a better relationship? Set that goal. You want a better walk in your spiritual life? Set that goal. You want to be more career oriented? Set that goal. Once you achieve it, set another goal, but make that goal even higher and continue to reach those aspirations that is necessary for success. Again, this is about pursuing your dreams, but understand this. Dreams without actions is nothing. We can sit around and dream for better days every day of our life. But if we never get up and put one foot in front of the other to reach our dreams, then ultimately it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And eventually, you're going to stop dreaming. Eventually, you're going to stop reaching. And that is not what we want in life. We should always dream for more for ourselves and more for those loved ones and friends around us. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are just some of those life hacks that I believe that you need to incorporate on your road to success and ultimately in having a positive self-image. Now, if we're working towards positivity, we also have to be able to recognize negativity and if we're looking at ourselves with a negative connotation. So let's talk about some of those things we need to watch out for so that we can take that negativity away. Because we know that if we look at ourselves in a negative way, that's going to be detrimental to our life. We're not going to want to put one foot in front of the other. As a matter of fact, a lot of times we can get so negative that people that we love and care for don't even want to be around us. They don't want to have anything to do with us because you're bringing them down. So obviously, we need to make sure we're doing things that are necessary to bring them up. And the only way you can bring them up is for you to have a positive self-image and stay away from that negativity and that negative self-image. Something else a negative self-image specifically can do is cause you to have low self-esteem. Let's be honest. A lot of us in our lives at some point, if not right now, have low self-esteem. You know that ultimately you have a job to do, but you're in such despair within your mental that you're like, you know what? I don't think I can do this. I'm not made for this. This is not for me. If you believe that, guess what? You're not going to make it. It is not made for you. But I'm going to tell you, that's a lie. That's a misnomer. That's all mental. You're telling yourself that, but that's not the truth. Because anything you put your mind to that you want to be able to do, you can achieve it. You can achieve it. It's as simple as putting in the work and making those steps in order to do what is necessary for you to be successful. Next, that negative mindset, in order to flip it, you need to focus on your weaknesses. We all know our strengths. That's easy. That's easy to continue to work on your strengths because you know you're strong at it. This is something that you do well all the time. But what about that weakness? What about that one thing that you say to yourself, I wish I could change that, or I wish I wasn't like that. I wish that people didn't see me that way. Well, you have a real, true opportunity to focus on that weakness. And all of us have weak points in our lives. Nothing wrong with recognizing it and putting in the work to flip it. And guess what? And I was talking to someone about this not too long ago. Once you flip that weakness, now you have a testimony. Now, that same weakness that you recognize in other individuals around you who you care about and who you love, you're able to give testimony about how you overcame it. But if you continue to allow that weakness to beat you down, to cause you not to move forward, to cause you to not have a positive mindset, then yes, you're not going to be able to move any forward. You're not going to be able to move forward. Now, that negative belief about yourself, we have got to change that. We have got to work on your positive mindset. You want to know one of the easiest ways to flip it is to imagine yourself doing something that you currently do wrong. Imagine yourself doing it right. In other words, you got to be able to visualize the right way to do something. Does that mean you may need to search out a mentor to show you how to do it? Absolutely. Does that mean sometimes you got to do research for yourselves, read books, do research on the internet? Absolutely. Nothing wrong with getting help. Nothing wrong with getting help. Anything that you can utilize to boost you going forward, let's do it. Because going backwards or continuing to go backwards should not be an option. That should not be what we're aspiring to do. And when you're looking at yourself in a negative light, you're technically moving backwards. And just think about all the effort it's going to take to move forward again. Because now we got to make up the ground that we lost by going backwards. So let's focus on those weaknesses. Let's stop that negativity that we're thinking about ourselves. And ultimately, let's focus on our goals and reaching our goals in a positive way. I want better for you because I know you have greatness in you. Every episode, for the most part, that we have talked about is all about success. It's all about being better. It's all about having a positive mindset. It was all about embracing your mistakes. But if you're looking at yourself and you're saying, you know what, I can't do it, then guess what? Yes, you would not be able to do it. We got to get away from that. So, how do we develop this positive self image? Again, this is all about recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses, understanding you're probably going to have to put more work into your weaknesses because you need to get those up. So let's do it. Let's put in that effort and do the work necessary to get it up. Next, you need achievements and accomplishments. And when you reach those achievements and accomplishments, use that as that fuel to push you forward. Everybody loves a win, and we love to celebrate our successes. You need to continue to do that. You need to continue to celebrate your successes because you want more successes and you want that positive feeling to continue to flow. And every time we catch a win, every time we can say to ourselves, you know what? I did it. I put in the work. No, I put in the hard work and I did it. You know how much positivity comes into your spirit when that happens? So we need to continue to exercise that. Something else you need to develop for this positive self-image. You need to focus on positive self-talk. So many of us have this little man on our shoulder telling us that we can't do it, always seeping that negativity into our brain. No, we need to wipe that off. And we need to always, always practice positive self-talk. Even though things may not be going well, nothing wrong with talking to yourself in a positive light. You know that you messed up, and it's okay. You recognized it, you admitted it. Now, at this point, let's flip it. Now, talk to yourself in a positive light, and let's move that negativity to the back. Let's bypass that. I would also suggest that you surround yourself with positive people who are going to encourage you. Being around those individuals who are consistently negative is going to hurt you in the long run. They're not going to help you. They're not going to push you forward. So why not be around those individuals who want you to do well? You all can encourage each other. Now, confidence is built by acting, not waiting. Let me repeat that. Confidence is built by acting on it and not waiting on it. This goes back to putting one foot in front of the other, walking down that path of success. And every step that you take towards that path to success, you're going to feel that confidence. And you're going to get stronger and stronger. And it should lead to you being more and more positive because you're taking those steps. You're taking those steps. Something else. You need to get away from those emotional scars from the past. Nothing that we're going to be able to do to go back and clean that up. I know it's a mess. I get it. We all have those messes from the past. But as we move forward, if we've done the best that we could do to clean it up and nothing has changed, we got to continue to walk down the road. We got to keep going. We can't stop. Remember, we got goals to achieve. But those scars that are left over from that mess that you made, we got to let those heal. And a part of the healing process is you all continuing to look at yourselves with a positive self-image. I like to say, get and keep that winning feeling. Get and keep that winning feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given you a lot of life hacks over the past few weeks that I feel that's going to lead you to success. Every Monday, I have told you that I see greatness in you because I do, because I believe everyone has greatness in them, but some of us don't know how to pull it out. I told you I was going to provide you with the life hacks that are necessary for that recipe to get you to that greatness. Hopefully, you all have tuned in, and I hope that you even watched me multiple times in these presentations so that it has become part of your spirit. My voice hopefully has gotten to you to the point where you've gotten up off that couch. You've gotten up out of that bed. And you said to yourself, today is a new day, and it's going to be a positive day. It's going to be a productive day. And then that day turns into multiple days. And those multiple days turns into weeks. Those weeks turn into months. Those months turn into years and ultimately decades that should lead you to a lifetime of positivity. It's not easy to always be an optimistic person. So this is something you're going to have to work on a daily basis. But remember, you have greatness inside of you. And as you release this greatness to the world is going to react to you and say, you know what? We needed this greatness. We appreciate this greatness, and we can learn from this greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, it has certainly been a pleasure on this road of success that I've been walking you down. Thank you for tuning in on a consistent basis because this is all about you. My greatness is pulling the greatness out of you. Again, thank you for joining me. And remember, I do have a book that I wrote earlier in the year, 50 Motivational Life Hacks to Become a Better You. Use that book as a resource to better your life, to pull that greatness out of you. It is available on Amazon via hard copy, paperback, and also on Audible. With that, listen to this.
Ready to unlock your full potential and finally become the amazing person you're meant to be? 50 Motivational Life Hacks to Become a Better You is your personal roadmap to transformation. In this practical guide, Van Leer, a passionate advocate for self-growth, shares 50 empowering, easy to implement life hacks that are certain to help. Pick up your copy today on Amazon.com, and if you enjoy listening to your books, Audible.com.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I continue to wish you much success. Have a wonderful week. Continue to be positive. I'll see you sometime in the future. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Motivational Life Hacks with Van Leer. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next week.